Reliably 2-0, baby.
The Clippers wanted this. They wanted the Mavs. Just remember that.
Asked for it. And you know what you asked for? Locked On Mavs right now.
It's the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I'm Luka Doncic, and this is Locked On Mavericks Podcast.
Hey, Dallas Mavericks are NBA champions. Bang! Bang! It's good! And the Mavericks have won the game!
If you don't believe, you shouldn't be here.
Let's go, baby.
Welcome. You're locked on to the Dallas Mavericks. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member and coordinator for the Locked On Podcast Network. And joining me, as always, my co-host, contributor at Mavs.com. The 2-0 onus. The one more thinking. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
Oh my gosh. This is it's so funny. It's just hilarious because it's the Clippers, because it's Pat Beverly and Marcus Morris and these guys. You know, we were very confident. I was very confident that they would win game one. And we hyped it about the whole week. It's like, they're taking game one. They got it. Effort, energy. They'll take it. I wasn't as confident in game two. I thought Clippers would respond. They would match it. And they're like, hey, we're going to go to Dallas, tie it up, 1-1. Thought the league would have a little hand in that.
Scott Foster's tried in the first half.
Hey, he tried. Kawhi Leonard's offhand tried, and it still wasn't enough.
I mean, on today's show, if you're here for any other reason, if you're like, man, I really hope they get into will they re-sign Tim Hardaway Jr. in the offseason? No. We're breaking down Dallas Mavericks 127-121 victory, that win over the LA Clippers in LA in front of at least two Clippers fans, like IRL Clippers fans. Right? At least.
Are we sure? Because two of those seats were taken up by Jessica and Dirk.
I was watching and I saw at least two participate in a game in which one kid didn't know what a floppy disk was. The other guy didn't know what flossing was, the dance. So that was interesting. But yeah, this game, Luka, we have to start with Luka. It's the thing, we can't go anywhere else besides Luka. Here's the stat I want to talk about. Luka, in 2 games, game 1 and 2 combined, has scored 5 points in the fourth quarter.
That's wild.
5.
That's insane.
And the Mavericks are 2-0. What does that tell you?
Tells me they're taking care of business in the first 3 quarters, or at least, doing a lot of damage there. And going into the series, one of the things that we were talking about that we needed to find out is we needed to know how the duo of KP and Luka together would play in these clutch moments in the fourth quarter. That going back to last year in that series against the Clippers, they only played 4 fourth quarter minutes together because of the injuries and ejection by KP and all of that. And now they're playing some fourth quarter minutes together, and they have 2 wins.
They passed that threshold in game 1.
Yeah.
the amount of minutes in the fourth quarter. Yeah, the Mavericks did. They took care of business in the first half, and they just there's so much stuff to get into. This episode is brought to you by Locker Room. Download the app and join us any day of the week. It could be any day. Follow me at Nick Van Exit. Locker Room, changing the way we talk sports. This team, this is a grown-up. This is cover your kids' ears again. This is a grown-ass Mavs team all of a sudden. How far away does that loss to the Thunder feel? Right? You know what I mean? Or that loss to the Rockets or any of those losses. The losses to the Jazz even. The Suns loss when Maxi first came back. Any of those losses feel so far away. This team has grown so much in this stretch. And they've pushed it all together. And they've just become a team where Skin mentioned it at the end of the broadcast if you're able to watch on Bally Sports, which, by the way, a bunch of people in Dallas were not able to watch on Bally Sports, and that's ridiculous and infuriating. And I can't believe that there's so many people that just can't watch the game because it's blacked
I thought it was
out.
NBA TV too. NBA TV had a blackout in Dallas too. But either way, I know a lot of Mavs fans couldn't watch, and I hated that for you guys.
You can't watch a playoff game? That doesn't make any sense. It's either here nor there. We can't affect change there.
Stupid.
Anyway. But Skin mentioned it. Dorian Finney-Smith at the end there in the fourth quarter when the Clippers finally started trapping Luka, and Dorian ran to the nail, the free throw line, and he got the ball. He broke the trap. That's where you're supposed to go. He broke the trap. Luka passed it to him, and then he kicks it to Tim Hardaway Jr. wide open three, and he hits it. That was a huge clutch shot by Tim Hardaway Jr., but the pass and the decision and the spot to go, Dorian to know to be there and all that was a huge growth moment for Dorian and for this team. Like, Dorian, outside of that, didn't have the best game. He's 1 of 6 from the field, missed 3 threes. He had a couple of assists and a couple of big boards, but played some decent defense, even though Kawhi and Paul George kind of had their way in this game. But other than that, that was a great decision. And so it's things like that. It's things like, dude, we're gonna jump all over this game, but Josh Richardson. Josh Richardson, man, doesn't do like anything the whole game.
I'm so proud of this guy. I am so happy for him because, I mean, the whole situation with him, this whole weird season, and just over this past month, and we've seen him and it's like rightfully so, like him seem defeated a little bit at times that, man, I lost my starting spot. He even spoke about it after a game or was out of practice when I say, man, I've been in the gym more than ever before because I don't like losing my spot. And it's like that competitive side of him is coming out. And even though they're winning some games, he's like, man, I want my spot too. And for him to come off the bench and play these 18 minutes, I thought he played really good defense. I thought he hit 1 3 in this game. He had another one that was right after the 24-second, shot clock. I thought he played great defense. And most of all, it's like, man, he once again hit some clutch free throws. I just love how this guy is playing off the bench, and I can't praise him enough.
The Mavericks, with 6 minutes and 55 seconds left in the game, were 9 of 20 from the free throw line. Josh Richardson comes in and hits 4 of 4, and they finish the game 13 of 24. And that's one of the reasons why they won the game. He scored all 9 of his points in the fourth quarter, which I thought was huge. Just absolutely wild. But it all goes back and stems back to Luka Doncic, the way that he played. 39 points in this game, 7 boards, 7 assists, had 7 turnovers, but was able to overcome all that. Solid defense, right? Like, they weren't able to the Clippers team's not able to just take advantage of Luka on defense. Yeah. The way that he is against some of their other guys. And it's not their stars, right? It's their Reggie Jackson and Patrick Beverley. Like, Luka walked Patrick Beverley to the rim. 2 or 3 times in this game, as if Patrick Beverley wasn't even standing there.
He just needs to take it from Russ and do the rock the baby, because
don't take anything from Russ. Just do you, Luka. Don't change anything.
Just the rock the baby. That's the only thing I want you to
are, bud. Like, don't change, man.
You're perfect the way God made you.
I know.
But the fact that Luka is targeting Pat Beverley, like,
he's
legitimately
been on the all defensive team,
targeting him, not just all defense, but like all smack talk too. Because if we did it,
we know that
starting,
doesn't mean anything.
And it's like, this dude talks so much smack for being as small as he is, trying to guard Luka, and for Luka to not just like target him, but then like embarrass him, and then like torch him, and then go down the court and let him know that he torched him. And it's like so evident that it's so embarrassing for everyone to watch. Like, that has to be embarrassing for Pat Beverley. And honestly, I don't care, because I think it's the funniest thing in the world. I'm like, bro, you talk so much crap. And especially this Clippers team I go back to that Maxi play, man, in that first game that Maxi gets dunked on. We all know that. And the fact that Paul George and Marcus Morris and those guys just stood there after Kawhi. Like, Kawhi yelling's one thing, but Marcus Morris and Paul George standing there yelling too. Come on. Like,
you mean like
get out of here. And I absolutely love it. And it's like, y'all, I mean, yeah, they're such a fake tough guy team.
We're about to see it, right? We're We're about to see this team and what they're made of again, because down 2-0 going back to Dallas. Massive. We'll get into that, what it means for the Mavericks. There's so many more things to break down from this game. How Luka was able to score. He hit a shot that I just could not believe again. I could not believe that he hit this shot. We'll get into that. We'll talk about it. But before we do, let's talk about Locker Room. Locker Room is changing the way we talk sports. Episode is brought to you by Locker Room. It's his first social audio platform made for sports fans, made for you guys. Free to download the app. Once you're in, you can talk with us. We're on there weekly. All the Locked On NBA shows, all the Locked On MLB shows, Locked On NHL shows, I believe, too, are all on there. Our friend Kirk Henderson is on there every post game with SB Nation doing stuff. There's all kinds of MFFL groups. Go join them, talk on there. It's the perfect place to start or join a conversation about the league. You'll find fans that are just like you on Locker Room. I've enjoyed talking to fans, getting to go back and forth, getting to do some debate kind of stuff. It's pretty fun. Go download the free Locker Room app right now. Join the group, the NBA, the MFFL, whatever group you want to join. Follow me. I'm at Nick Van Exit. You will be notified anytime that we go live with the Locked On Mavs room. And then we will talk Mavs, and you can come up and talk to us or hang out in the chat. See you there. Locker Room, changing the way we talk sports. All right, Isaac Harris. Let's get into the rest of this game. So, Luka Doncic hits this shot.
I know exactly the shot you're talking about.
Third quarter, just over 30 seconds left. And he goes for the 2-for-1. And immediately I thought of you because you hate this 2-for-1 thing.
Melly had one at the end of the first that took a few seconds off my life.
But Luka, going to his left, rises up off 1 foot, like flying left in the air, and hits this one-legged, like, flying left three.
Like, what is that? Like,
what?
who decides in their right mind to take that shot in an
Carlos
NBA
Barkley
game?
Said it was a horse shot, which is completely right. Like, that's a shot you do in horse.
I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, what's the equivalent of that in, like, whoever you're like is listening right now? Like, what is the equivalent at your job of that shot? Like, tweet at me something. I want to know, because that is, like, so absurd, and the confidence to take it, I don't understand it. It was just, I just didn't know what to say when he I thought it was at the end of the shot clock, and I just, like, misread the clock.
If Lillard hit that shot, would Paul George say it was a bad shot? If Steph Curry took that shot, would LeBron say it was a bad shot?
If LeBron took that shot, did he only see 1 rim or 14 rims? It's just thank the good man above that Luka hit that shot.
Yeah, so he hits that. They didn't hit the second one on the 2-for-1, right? So they only got the one out of it. But hey, it was worth it. All right, let's start. So, man, so many things to get into.
Are you starting from the beginning now?
I don't know where to start from,
We're
man.
like 13 minutes into this. I'm like, hey, let's go back to okay. The second quarter felt like a playground. Like, it felt like I was watching a Rucker Park documentary, and it was Kawhi versus Luka, and Luka was hitting just some dumb crap that was just like, what? Now, he was kind of going back and forth of, like, insane shot, very dumb turnover. Insane shot, very dumb turnover again. It's like you almost just have to live with it, because I found myself like, Dan, don't throw that ball, Luka. But I'm like, oh, what am I supposed to say? You just hit 2 crazy shots right before that too. He was just in that, when Luka is playing like that, and he's so peppy, he's bouncing around, he's having fun. You're like, this is one of the biggest stages of your NBA career that you've played on, and he's just out there just I'm just having fun, guys. Like, let me just have fun hitting some huge shots. And it's wild.
The pressure rolls off his shoulders, man. Like, he just doesn't take any of it. By the way, Mavericks are now 29-0 when leading after the first quarter.
That's insane.
This season, it continues all the way to the finals, I guess, right? Like, does it ever stop?
Him and Ty Lue have something in common. Neither one of them have pressure.
Ty Lue, after the game, said he's still not concerned. Mavericks have to win 4 games.
No pressure.
No, that is false. They have to win 2 games, and the Clippers have to win 4 at this point, because those games have already happened. Okay. End of the first quarter. Kawhi has 18 points.
Mm-hmm.
The Clippers have shot 11 free throws. They hit 10 of them, and the Mavericks had shot 0.
You know what I was saying.
It's Scott Foster special.
Oh, 1,000%. I'm like, let's go. They phoned it in. Like, we got to get these LA teams meeting in the conference finals. This is what they want.
Somewhere. They're going to meet somewhere. What if the Clippers don't meet them 2 years in a row. That'd be wild.
Well, they're not going to this year. But.
Mavericks took their first free throw with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left in the second quarter. KP took him after he got fouled under the basket. And by the way, he missed the first one too. The Mavericks did not shoot well from the free throw line at all in this game. It was taking years off everyone's life.
Yes, it was.
Okay, so many different things.
Look, can we just talk Kawhi real quick?
We can talk anything. I'm open.
So one of the last few pods we did before this series started, we said we did like two kind of back and forth segments of like why the Mavericks would win this series, why the Clippers would win this series. And one of the things we said for why the Clippers would win this series is Kawhi steps up and says, I'm going to show everyone I'm a top 3 player again. Because he was in that top 3 player group there for a couple years, handful of years there, and it feels
Kawhi,
like
you said Kawhi was the best player in the game at one point.
I know, yeah, for me, yeah, but I'm saying for the majority of people, I'd say majority of people would have him at least top 5. A lot of people top 3. He had a couple years there and for me, he was the best overall player, but I feel like he slipped a little bit, and I'm like, if the Clippers are going to win this series, what? You don't think
I never thought he was the best player.
No, yeah. You never did. Because LeBron.
And he is not now.
No, he's not. But that was one of the things of like, man, if the Clippers win the series, I feel like he has to go up to that level. And I watched it in that first quarter and I'm like, oh, dang you, Kawhi. And I'm like, because it felt like he got whatever he wanted.
And he did.
The whole talk going into this game, Ty Lue leaned into that. Tim McMahon's question, a day or so ago was about Kawhi guarding Luka. He joked back, said, I think you're going to get what you want in this game too. I'm like, and then we start game 2. Nothing changed. Like
nothing.
Pat Beverly started like the same starting unit, the same like matchups kind of. And I think Kawhi guarded him a little bit more throughout the game.
Same as it was in the game 1. You weren't on this pod, but I went back the other day and I went through all of game 1 again and watched it all. And Kawhi guarded him the same amount of time in this game as he did in game 1.
But guys, breaking news. It doesn't matter if Kawhi guards him.
Right.
It doesn't
that was my
at
point
all.
The other day.
So, but anyway, the first like second quarter, it felt like Kawhi, it's almost like he had to. It felt like he felt like he had to because
he scored 30 points at he had 30 points at halftime and they were only up by 2.
Yeah.
Right? Like that shouldn't happen, right? That's absolutely insane that he has to carry that team.
have? Hold on.
He had to carry that team so much in order to get that. And it was an incredible first half, like just precision, like 10 of 14 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, but he was a +0 in the minutes that he played in the first half.
He got to his spots too. I mean, he pushes off every single time with his left arm, and it kills me. But, a lot of the stars do it. LeBron's did it for, 2 decades. Kawhi does it a lot. Like, a lot of players do that.
Luka does it too.
Yeah, Luka does it. James Harden does it.
Yep.
It does feel like Kawhi does it.
Michael Jordan never did it, though. Never, not once.
He never pushed off, especially against Utah in the finals. But
never. Never did it.
It does feel like Kawhi does a little bit more. Could just be me being biased going against him in a playoff.
It's just Kawhi is stronger. Like Kawhi is just such a strong dude. He has long arms. He has huge hands, right? Like sort of stands out a little bit more. And I had a couple of listeners tweet me during the game and said, man, once you guys mentioned that Kawhi always extends that left arm, you just can't unsee it anymore. And so it's one of those things where once you start seeing it, you'll never not see it anymore.
Yeah. And they can't they should try to put Kawhi on him, on Luka a little bit more. But I was so unimpressed by Ty Lue.
I know.
We were kind of flaming him before this. We hit record on this, but if I was a Clippers fan, if they exist, they have, I guess, cardboard.
There's at least
fans.
2 and they're on this network. So,
but it's like, I would just be roasting Ty Lue this whole time because he is just getting circled by Rick Carlisle. And I was expecting all of these changes going into game 2. And
they played Serge Ibaka less.
It's like, all right. I mean, they changed up a few things, but for the most part, it was a lot of the same stuff. I'm like, what are you just banking on that? These guys are not going to hit, or are you just banking on, hey, let's just give Luka his crap again? And then I don't know what's going on with Ty Lue.
The big change was 15 minutes of Terrence Mann.
Hey, at least he tries. In a way, it almost felt like
Green, right?
He's
like
the Josh Green.
He's
I almost tweeted out. It's like he stood out because he gave effort that the other team didn't, like the other players didn't give.
He gave a crap.
I like him. I actually do like him.
Clippers fans love him too. He's like a fan favorite type guy that fans always ask for. Coming up, we're going to talk more about this game. Got to get into Porzingis, not the stuff before the game, but we'll actually talk about the game that he played and all that. We'll talk about the before the game stuff on tomorrow's podcast. So we'll get into all that, talk about how the Mavericks pulled this out. We'll get to the fourth quarter. We'll break it all down play by play, get into that coming up. But before we do, baby, Built Bar, BuiltBar.com. Get your Built Bars there. They're absolutely delicious. I got a bar coming on Friday, a whole box. I'm ready for it. Feeling good about it. Built Bar, they're a protein bar that tastes like a candy bar. They're absolutely delicious. They're pretty good for you as well. Go check them out. Here's BuiltBar.com protein bar. I got mint brownie coming. That's the OG like best flavor. 130 calories, 17 grams of protein, 4 grams of sugar. The other ones I like are the cherry barcia and the raspberry. Those are also coming in my box. You can buy all kinds of different boxes. You can mix and match your own flavors. You can get an 18-bar mix box that has all the different flavors if you just want to try it. And you can also get a travel cooler. Look at that. That looks pretty nice. Just a couple Built Bars in there. They have all kinds of different other products too, so go check it out. Built Bar, use the promo code LOCKED15 to get 15% off your next order with Built Bar at BuiltBar.com. Also want to tell you about BetOnline. BetOnline is the site to put down some money on sports. If you go there right now, let's see what they have for the Dallas Mavericks in the series. They took it down. They took down Mavs Clips. They did. They took it down. It's not up anymore.
Hope you made some money, boys.
Hope you made some money while you could on that. Do they have the game up? No, they don't even have the games up for Mavs Clips. They may have it up tomorrow, but while we're recording this right now, they do not have it up. Use the promo code LOCKEDON and get 50% welcome bonus to the first deposit. Hawks right now favored by -255. You have the Bucks favored by 1,000, -1,000 for them. Blazers -174 favorite. That one's pretty interesting. Nuggets just came back and won one of those games. The Sixers a -1,800 favorite. You feeling good? You feeling good about that one?
Wow.
I think we're feeling good about that one. So go check it out. BetOnline.ag. You can bet on all kinds of stuff. It doesn't just have to be basketball. It can be anything. Go to BetOnline and use the promo code LOCKEDON. All right, Isaac Harris. Let's get into more about this game. Let's do Kristaps Porzingis now. Finish the game. 20 points, 4 boards, 3 steals and 2 blocks. I thought he looked more engaged defensively. Now, I don't think he was great defensively. In the first quarter, Paul George drove at him 3 straight times and scored all 3 times, and he didn't even alter his shot once. But
that one he fell down too.
And then the other time he fell down, that was a different time even. But 3 steals, 3 blocks. 3 steals and 2 blocks. I still thought that he was a little bit better. And then in the fourth quarter, again, he had the same sort of play where he cut from the corner and got another dunk. Almost the same exact time of game. Once the Clippers decide to go small, it's kind of Porzingis' time. That's the time where he can take advantage because he can stretch it out to 3, and he hit 3 threes in this game, which were huge. The one that bounced off the Don Nelson bounce, completely.
Oh, that was incredible, yeah.
Super high in the air and went in, was absolutely wild. But when the Clippers go small, and they kind of have to because Zubac gets played off the floor. Apparently, Ty Lue doesn't want to play Serge Ibaka. And so when they go super small, Porzingis with the pick and roll, and he can take advantage of a couple of those post-up plays. And he did. He got one against, I think it was Rondo. He hit a jumper over. And, I thought he was better in this game. He's still not rebounding in a way that you would want him to. The Mavericks didn't get a ton of rebounds in this game anywhere. There were not really a ton available. Both teams had a 130 offensive rating in this game.
Yeah.
But what did you think about Porzingis' game?
Yeah, I thought he played better. He had a defensive play. I know the play we were referencing where he fell down. So everyone may want to make a big deal about that. But he had another play in which he got switched off on Paul George late in the fourth, and he held his ground. And Paul George took a 3. He contested it well, and he missed the 3. And I thought that was really good. I got scared for him in that moment.
Yeah, you always do. Yeah,
he at least held his ground in that. So.
But that's the thing about this Clippers team, though, is that they settle for jumpers like that, right?
They
really
did attack a little bit more tonight, though.
Kawhi did for sure, and that's why they were going to the free throw line early.
Yeah, and because they were 18 of 20 from the free throw line. One of the things we pointed out heading into the series that they were a very, very good free throw percentage team.
Yeah.
They're 28th in the league in attempts, because it's like they shoot a lot of threes, and they shoot a lot of threes very, very well. They shot at 39% tonight. They were the best 3-point shooting team in the league, historic team, all that stuff. But they got to the line tonight and they made their free throws. They were doing it early with Kawhi, but Paul George, going back to Porzingis, I thought he played better. I thought he played a little bit better offensively. He was handing out points instead of handing out ones tonight. So that was good. And, for him, I think it's crazy to think about it this way. I know we joked about it the other day, but it's crazy to think that
mean anything.
No, it's crazy to think that Tim Hardaway has kind of surpassed him as like the second guy, even though like Rick Carlisle made a very clear point after the game. He's like, Luka and KP are two best players. They did great defensively together. And that's like the duo. But Tim Hardaway is like the one that's kind of like taken that up, that I'm like less worried about Tim scoring and stepping up than I am KP.
6 of 8 from 3 in this game, Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah,
28 points, 5 assists in this game too. 4 of 8 from 3. And afterwards he said, MFFL is, damn it, I got to hit my free throws. That was what he said on Bally Sports. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, you said at the beginning of this pod that we were wondering what the 2 stars are going to do. Maybe the 2 stars are Luka and Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it sort of feels like it. They're at least the 2 offensive engines, and Tim Hardaway Jr. hit that clutch 3, and he carried the Mavericks through a couple of those stretches.
He's playing the best basketball of his life right now.
For sure.
He is so aggressive. He attacks the basket. He's picking the right moments. So many of the things when he first came over, and even his time in New York, was his decision-making, just bad shots. How many times in Dallas early on, we're like, man, it's just a stupid shot. Like, why are you taking that?
I'll say this again. We thought he might be out of the rotation at the beginning of last season.
Yeah. And
that's how bad it was.
Just to see him mold into this, to where it doesn't feel like he takes bad shots very much. It doesn't feel like he makes bad decisions.
Well, if he's making them all, none of them are bad.
Yeah, but like there's still not a ton that you're looking at saying, man, that's just a stupid shot for him. It's like he just seems like he's in such a groove. His passion, his energy is so infectious to this team. And I just love his driving. Like, he drives so well. And he takes Paul George off the dribble. I'm like, are you winning the Paul George battle? Is this like a Paul George, Tim Hardaway Jr. battle, or is this a KP Paul George thing?
He equaled him in scoring and only had 1 less assist than him in this game. So, I mean, he got close. If he didn't, I mean, he at least matched him. And then the difference was Porzingis, I think, though, because Luka and Kawhi, their scoring evened out, even though Luka had more assists and created more points. Tim Hardaway Jr. and Paul George's scoring equaled out, and Porzingis scored 20 and Reggie Jackson scored 15. And then the rest of the Clippers didn't really do much. Terrence Mann had 9, Morris had 9, he fouled out. Terrence Mann had 8. And then it's just that was kind of the difference, is the third guy to step up, whoever is that third guy, especially when they're not going to play a ton of defense like they did in this game.
And we've went this whole time, and we haven't even given a shout out to the guy who took over the first quarter. And I couldn't be happier. Yeah, I couldn't be happier for freaking Maxi after the whole game 1 thing and getting dunked on and everybody sharing the highlight and all that stuff. But for Maxi to go out there tonight and to score, I think he had 12 in the first quarter. And one of them was like a pull-up shot, like mid-range off the dribble, hit a couple threes, had the dunk. I was so happy for him, so proud of him.
He scored 12 points in the first quarter, 13 points in the game. All right, like that's another thing about this team, is that they're getting to a point where, yes, Luka's going to get his, and then with Porzingis, there's kind of like, all right, where are my shots coming? Tim Hardaway Jr., we heard that comment on JJ Redick's podcast. All right, when's my time? When are my shots going to come? Everyone else is totally cool with, all right, whenever my shots are coming, whenever it's my time, I'm going to go for it. And it seems like Luka is cool with, all right, Maxi, you're going to score 13 points in the first quarter? That's fine with me. I'll score 9, and we'll win the first quarter. That's super crucial for us, and we'll win it, and it won't matter to me. I'll get mine eventually. He does not care. He just wants whoever is going to score and whoever has the best chance to score. And I just think that is really healthy for this team going into really, really big, probably the biggest game 3 and 4, because they could sweep, they could go up 3-1, they could get tied 2-2, and then all of a sudden they have this huge, massive game 5. Like, anything could happen. I want to be clear. We're super excited about this game. This series is not over. Oh,
not at all. But we're excited. I mean, this is something that nobody thought that they were going to go in there outside of, Dallas. And I mean, even us, I mean, I've been saying Mavs in 6 forever, it feels like, but I didn't think they were going to walk out of LA, up 2-0. I didn't think that. I thought I wanted them to split that. But for them to walk out of LA winning the first 2 games against Kawhi and them, like that's huge. And I mean, you can't, that's massive, man. I'm hyped.
You know what else is massive? Teams going up 2-0 have advanced a ton. Advanced a ton. Teams that go down 0-2, so the Clippers right now, only advanced 27 times in 426 opportunities in the playoffs. 6.3% of the time, the team that goes down 0-2, follows through and wins and beats a team. So, and one of those times will stick out to Mavs fans for sure. But
I just want to say Friday is going to be wild. American Airlines Center, we didn't get to see the Luka game winner in person last year. That was in the bubble. We haven't seen Luka in the playoffs in person. And for him to come home to Dallas up 2-0 against this Clippers team with Rondo and all those guys.
Never played in front of Mavs fans in a playoff game before.
Yeah. And they just increased the capacity for the arena. There should be
28,000, like way above capacity. There's like standing room only now.
We could get Are you ready?
Keeps pushing this number and pushing this number. As many fans as he can get in there.
We need a soundbite for this because Friday it's going to be a sellout. The sellout streak is back, baby. But honestly, man, I haven't been this hyped to go to a game in a very long time, and to just cover this. We'll be back in action, doing everything on Friday night. Locked on Mavs that night. And
are you done? Are we done?
What?
Are we done? Are we done with this podcast?
Have we already ended?
No.
Is it done?
You were like winding down. I'm like, are we done?
Yeah, it's 32 minutes. You always get mad at me about time.
Yeah, they just went up 2-0 against the Clippers. I was ready.
What else you want to talk about? Reggie Jackson's glasses?
He is doing the most of those glasses.
He is.
We still have not had a Brunson, like a crazy Brunson game, or we had a Dorian Finney-Smith game, I guess, but we still haven't had like an elite Porzingis game yet. Those are still coming. Also, I want to give a shout out to Willie Cauley-Stein. I thought he had a solid couple minutes there.
Yeah. Dwight Powell. Dwight Powell's not playing as much as I thought he would.
Yeah, he's not.
But guys, go read my piece on Dwight Powell. I haven't got to talk about it.
Willie has kind of taken that spot. He played 15 minutes. He was 3 of 3. He finished a lob that he would not have finished in the regular season. I don't know what it is about Willie's playoff hands.
That sticky glue on his hand.
Yeah, they have completely changed. He had 6 boards in this game too. Anyway, all right. We'll finish. I won't give Isaac any more crap.
I just drove 13 hours in a car with my toddlers and then finished watching this game and to do this pod.
Exhausted.
I'm hyped. But, man, this is a super exciting series. And
Ty Lue is trending. Playoff P is trending right now. Go enjoy it on Twitter. Guys, we will be back with more. 2 days off between games. We have the game coming up on Friday, so we will have pods for you. Until then, we'll do a post game on Friday. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs.
Hey, tomorrow night, I want to have a Luka conversation about something that I think fans will enjoy. Peace out.
Boom.